And we are live, ladies and gentlemen. It is time for more One Piece. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to more One Piece. I feel like I haven't gone that long with a yo in quite a long time. It's good to see you, Kohagen, Ogata, and Ozzy. Let's go ahead. Fries! Welcome, Fries! If this is your first time here, welcome. Sorry, where did that accent come from for a second? My apologies. But if this is your first time here, I hope you enjoy yourself. Hope you enjoy yourself with everything that I do here today. So, last we left off with the series, we finally get introduced to the gigantic tree island of Elbaf. And we also got introduced to the son of the, late King Herald of Elbaf, Loki, who we also find out is the brother to Harudin, making Harudin royalty. And we have Luffy speaking to Loki. So let's see what happens if we're off of break. Let's see what happens in chapter 1131, Loki in the Underworld. Ooh, Ogre Child Yamato's Golden Harvest Surrogate, Pilgrimage Volume 18, After That Sword Thief. So we got Kumachiyo, we got Yamato riding Kumachiyo, and we have Tama riding on Lady Speed, chasing after the person that has apparently been stealing stuff all around Wano right now. Okay, all right, I'm looking forward to where this story ends up. And then we get Luffy who screamed, because remember, Loki is speaking to Luffy, because Luffy found him. He sensed him. So after Loki says, this is the warland of Elbaf. And Luffy just begins this chapter by going, "Oh yeah! I knew this was Elbaf! We've been waiting to get here for ages! Everything really is huge in Elbaf!" "Oh yeah? Good for you. By the way, I wonder if Usopp will figure it out when he gets up there. What's on top of the tree?" Hey, and mind you, Luffy's standing on Loki's knee, and he's completely ignoring the fact that Loki's trying to speak, and Luffy's just like, "The most powerful nation in the world? Lived and breathed warfare? Wow, that's wild. When I was on Dory and Broggy's ship, I'd never seen so many giants at once. It was really overwhelming." Hey, and Loki is still trying to speak. Hold on, I need water. Hey, I can't believe they're the most powerful. I can believe they're the most powerful. Hey, I'm talking to you! And Loki screams this out so loud that it can be heard far off in the distance. That, those same wolves that we seen following the Straw Hat crew across the giant bridge that Gerd and Goldberg went across. They all hear Loki, and they're just growling in the distance. They're just growling in the distance while one wolf is actually hunting a deer, and the deer hears Loki's yell and it runs off. And I guess the wolf is kind of angry that Loki's scream caused its dinner to run off. And then Loki continues to speak. "I am the sun god enshrined in the legends of this land. You will not speak without my permission, human. Elbaf's accursed prince, Loki. Special government bounty, 2.6 billion. How many special bounties do we have in One Piece? Bounty, yes. Special government bounty? How many? And we can already see that Loki is on that Arlong, Hody Jones mindset that humans are inferior to his race. Arlong and Hody with humans are inferior to fishmen. Now we have Loki here and Road thinking that thinking that humans are inferior to giants. I am the sun god enshrined in the legends of this land. You will not speak without my permission, human. Now, answer me. What do you make of this situation? As, you know, Loki is bound to this tree. What do I make of it? That you're chained up. Keenly surmised, but no man chooses to be chained. And I am no exception in that regard. I would rather be free. Did you know I've been here for 6 years? He's been chained up to this tree for 6 years. 6 years? I consider myself the strongest in all of Elbaf, but this tree is known as the Jewel Tree. Oh my god, it's the Adam Tree! What? The same tree that was used to make Gold D. Rogers' ship. The same tree. Elbaf, the tree that houses Elbaf, is the OG Adam Tree. I consider myself the strongest in all of Elbaf, but this tree is known as the Jewel Tree, Adam, which forms the very kingdom of Warland itself. The chains are sea prism stone. They rob me of my strength and keep me imprisoned. That doesn't surprise me, because this dude does have a devil fruit, a legendary devil fruit. Said that if he gets free, he could bring the entire world to ruin. And Loki keeps talking to him. So I have a question for you, Rhodey. It's Luffy. Wow, someone getting Luffy's name wrong. So that's what that feels like. Someone getting Luffy's name wrong. So I have a question for you, Rhodey. It's Luffy. Do you want to make a deal, Luffy? You're a pirate, aren't you? If you should undo these chains that bind me, I'll offer to completely eliminate one rival pirate crew of your choosing. What say you? The key should be somewhere in the village. Now, if you'd rather not, I won't force your hand. And, he really is a trickster, isn't he? He really is a trickster. This really is a Loki, isn't he? Now, if you'd rather not, I won't force your hand. And Luffy's just, chilling, laying on Loki's leg. But I didn't mention this is the lowest plane of Elbaf, the underworld, a place that no one dares venture into. Those judged to be criminals are dropped down here. This place is their prison and their execution yard. 'Cause Luffy can hear something running towards Loki and himself. And Luffy's watching and looking. Dig into the snow around you, and you'll find the bones of giant and man alike. And something grabs one of these trees in a full-on grip, and it takes the tree, just uproots it, just grabs it and uproots it, and then just squashes the tree in between its hands. These mountains have existed for tens of thousands of years. In our mythology, we call this the First World. And a giant snake comes in, and it looks like it bounced a piece of a mountain and just completely crushes it in its jaws. A place where the sun is only a dead memory, foolish human. I don't know what brought you to these snowy peaks, but you best be wary of these wild beasts. A great and deadly sentinel prowls each and every mountain. Bit my tongue. A great and deadly sentinel prowls each and every mountain, and since I was a lad, they've all been fast friends of mine. And it shows a giant snake, a giant gorilla, a black wolf that almost looks like its fur is on fire. I'm sorry, Fenrir? And what appears to be a polar bear as well. Oh, and a mammoth. There's also a regular mammoth. A regular mammoth. I bet you this thing's going to do something far more significant than Jack did. But Luffy's just looking at it and he's going, oh, this takes me back. Because remember, he had to face a whole bunch of big creatures when he was on a Ruskaina. I think the island is called Ruskaina. Someone will correct me if I'm wrong. But the island he trained with Rayleigh on. There's a lot of big creatures that he faced and also basically surpassed. And they all listen and follow Luffy. So this kind of just takes him back to his training 2 years ago. So if you don't do as I say, they may not take kindly to it. And Luffy, he's really trying to tell Luffy that if you don't do what I say, they'll kill you. Those other little ones are humans who chose to do battle with Elbaf. They wear stinking robes to turn away the ravenous beasts, but they only delay the inevitable. They are corpses already. And we get people. Yeah, there's a group of... Oh, wait, I didn't even notice this. There's a group of people that are here in hooded robes traveling with these giant creatures. Now, that's really uncalled for, sir. Who is this guy? Can we rob him blind? Maybe he's got something. We don't want to get knocked unconscious like the last time. I mean, around here, you don't expect to run into red-haired Shanks of all people. Oh, they are dropping Shanks' name right next to Luffy. Huh? Did you just... Ah! And Luffy has already... Luffy has already tamed the creatures! He has already tamed the creatures. All of them. The snake, the gorilla, the polar bear, the mammoth, the big old wolf. He's already tamed them. He's sitting in the gorilla's hand going, huh? Did you just say Shanks? We did, but it's really invalidating everything we thought we knew. Who is that guy? How did he tame the Sentinels of the Peaks? And even Loki is confused. What? Wait a second, who is that pipsqueak? Did Shanks really come here? You know red hair. And then Luffy smiling, and then Loki smiling. If you mean that coward of a pirate, he certainly did. And Luffy! After hearing Shanks being disrespected, he goes Gear 4 instantly and tries to punch Loki in the face. And Loki just barely manages to avoid getting punched. Mind you, Luffy is very capable of using Gear 4 without going full on, but just hearing someone say that Shanks is a coward of a pirate, Luffy doesn't even waste a single second and tries to body him. But he dodges out of the way, and Luffy only just leaves like a big old imprint in the mountain. Yeah, Prince Loki! Hey, wait! Take it easy, I was only joking. What? And Luffy, starting to come down out of being in Gear 4, goes, what? Don't say that. Even as a joke. I'm helpless here, I can't defend myself. The instant I get these chains off, I'm gonna kill him! Oh, wait. And no, wait, this is Loki thinking this to himself. I'm helpless here. I can't defend myself. The instant I get these chains off, I'm gonna kill him. Then you better not make me mad. Next time you say something like that, I'll embed you into that tree. You wouldn't dare, idiot. And why was Shanks here? Why did he come to see you? That couldn't have been why he was here. Is he still in Elbaf? You won't be getting those answers for nothing. And now he's really trying to get out of those chains. But now we cut away from Luffy and we cut to Nami and company.
Look out, it's really shaking.
I'm gonna die!
Is that what I think it is?
And the rope bridge is shaking.
Huh? You mean?
Yeah, someone's coming!
I don't know who it is, but he looks all charred up, like he got hit by lightning. It's probably whoever was under that sun god mask.
I knew it! Because Road is on his way. He's still smoking after Nami zapped him, but he's coming after them.
And behind him is that female warrior and the chubby one! They're chasing him and carrying the Sunny!
And Nami goes,
The Sunny's there? What's going on?
Sounds like it's cutting time.
No! They might be the Master's friends! There's only one thing to do! Look, the finish line is before us! We gotta run it out! Sprint for all you're worth! Get to the Elbaf village that must be up there! If they catch up to us, we're goners!
And everyone is running while Nami gets to ride on Chopper's back. And then we get to Underworld. Underworld Wardland. Dig-ga-ga-ga-ga-ga! Oh, it's Harudine! Dig-ga-ga-ga-ga-ga-ga! There we go. Took down that moose, just in the nick of time. These beasts don't live in the upper forest, but their meat is exquisite. I can already see the excitement on the Straw Hats' faces. New Giants Pirates Captain Harudine. Harudine! Harudine! And we got another person with them. Stenzen! But how will we carry this monster? New Giant Pirates Shipwright. Can't use a painter. Those sunstones don't work when it's snowing. Suck it up and be a man. This meat is for our saviors. A Harudine refresher. Back in Dressrosa, Harudine was caught in the wicked plot of Doflamingo, former warlord, and was nearly forgotten by the world until he was rescued by the Straw Hat crew. Now he is one of the 7 captains in the Straw Hat Grand Fleet. To think that we would get a recap, even just a small tidbit of a recap from Dressrosa. Heave ho! And I'm now looking at this moose. That's not a moose! That's a T-Rex with antlers! And a furry mane! There we go. Took down that moose. It is a literal T-Rex with antlers and fur. I don't know any moose with a large reptilian tail. Do they even know what a moose look like? That's a T-Rex. They're carrying a T-Rex. Heave ho! See, we got this. We are the mighty warriors of Elbaf, the new giant pirate crew. And they're singing while they're carrying this T-Rex moose. It's a T-Rex moose. It's a jackalope. It's a T-Rex jackalope. New giant pirates, self-proclaimed Straw Hat Fleet. A pirate crew of 5 younger giants from the generation after Dory and Broggy. Navigator, Rodo. Shipwright, Stanzen. Doctor, Gerd, and Cook, Goldberg, with the captain being Harudine, son of the late King Harold. Mind you, I'm adding in that last part, that son of the late King Harold. But yeah, it just shows us all the new giant pirates. And then we get... Now we're back here on the sea. Now we're back the sea near Elbaf. What do you think, Robin? I've never cut a woman's hair before. I was quite nervous about it. My heart would have been racing if I had one. Yo! Skull joke! And then Lilith is laughing.
You don't have a heart. So unscientific.
Then we have Bonnie. Yo! Oh my god. Then we have Bonnie, still a child, going,
You look really cute, Robin.
And then Frankie, haven't seen that look on you in ages. And then Jimbei, that's stunning. Well done, Brooke. And Robin is silent as she has Brooke cut her hair so that she looks like she did before. Pre-time skip Robin is back. Oh my god. So she can look the same when she meets Saul. Oh my god! Pre-time skip Robin's look is back. She has her, yo. If anyone was used to Robin having long hair, she is a throwback. Just a literal throwback look. She looks beautiful.
That's stunning. Well done, Brooke.
And Robin is silent, and then she goes, "It's perfect. Thank you, Brooke." Yo! Happy to help. Then we get Brocky.
Oh, so it's the look you had when you met Saul. Then he'll be especially happy to see it.
And then Frankie goes, "Oh, man, I just know this reunion will have me bawling." Because Frankie can be a very emotional person. And then another, I think that's Kashi going,
"That's the hairstyle we remember too, Robin."
And then Robin just letting her hair flow in the wind. She's just thinking about her eventual reunion with Saul. Because they are getting closer to Elbaf.
The mists have cleared. Land ahoy! Prepare to moor. That island of giants is gigantic. We gotta have a toast when we get to harbor. Yeah!
Then we cut into Elbaf as we get someone huffing and puffing going, "Elbaf."
Big trouble! Big trouble! Big trouble! It's Dr. Saul! He's fallen and he won't get up!
Dr. Saul? I'm sorry, Doctor? And we're not going on break. That's it. To be continued. That's the end of this chapter. And we're not going on break from this. Oh my goodness. This had me feeling great. This was a good, this was a good chapter. I like it. Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back from break, and Oda gives us not only Loki trying to get Luffy to set him free, but he also gives Harudin already on Elbaf. He's fallen and he can't get up. Someone give Saul a life alert, like a giant-sized life alert.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
But not only did Oda bring us Loki trying to bargain with Luffy, hoping that'll set him free, he almost got his face clocked in the moment he tried to call Shanks a coward. This is the most... How many times have we seen Luffy get instantly angry and try to body someone like this before? He disrespected the person who inspired him to be a pirate. Calling Shanks a coward of a pirate, and he almost got his face dented in. Instantly. Luffy went gear... He didn't even go... Because here, you want to know something? Luffy, in anger, chose to use Gear 4 instead of Gear 5. Maybe because he thinks, maybe because Loki is worth just getting clobbered by Gear 4, but not so much of a threat to get clobbered by Gear 5. He just went Gear 4 and tried to hit him. Whew. But not only did we get that, we also got Nami and company running across the bridge because Rodo is heading down the bridge as well, and Gerd and Goldberg have the Sunny, while Rodo is trying to run from them. I don't think he knows that the rest of the Straw Hat crew is on the bridge leading up to the upper half of Elbaf. Not only that, but we have Harudin, who's in Elbaf, hunting what looks to be like a giant T-Rex jackalope thing. It is not a moose. It is not a moose. Most moose I know don't have reptilian feet with long tails and antlers. Most. With antlers. Most. But that's going on. And then we come to find out that Robin and company are already coming up to Elbaf. They are within sight of Elbaf itself. And Robin has... This is the first time that someone from the Straw Hat crew decided to get a different hairstyle. I'm not counting Frankie because he can change it at any time, but this is the first time where when we got introduced to Robin in the time skip, we see that her hair has grown even longer, and her hair has just been long this entire time. But because of the eventual reunion with Saul, she decides to go back to her old hairstyle so that Saul could recognize her better. God, that is so wholesome. And she looks pre time skip Robin. That look is back. Ah, it's so good. Also, can we just talk about how good of a hairstylist Brooke is for her hair to be basically essentially perfect? So that's going on. But also we find out that the tree that houses the entire nation of Elbaf is the Adam Tree itself. The Adam Tree. I also feel like Oda is not having Luffy use Gear 5 against Loki, so Loki doesn't get see it because Loki must know about the Sun God and what he looks like. Yeah, there's a reason why Oda chose not to have him go Gear 5, because that would refute everything of Loki saying that he's the Sun God. Considering that the entire nation of Elbaf reveres the Sun God as their god, seeing Luffy in this state would pretty much go against anything else that Loki says about him being the Sun God. It would bring everything he's ever said about himself into question, seeing the Sun God literally in front of him. But, also, anyone else find it interesting he was locked up 6 years? It is interesting. Now you gotta tally up what has occurred all the way up to 6 years ago. What has occurred 6 years ago for him to be locked up for that long? This dude has essentially been locked up way before Luffy ever ever set out to sea to become a pirate. And I want to say he probably was chained up when Ace was a pirate. I was saying that as well, the same time that Shanks was recognized as an emperor. Is that the same time frame though? That's my question. Hold on, let me bring this up. One piece. Here we go. Good, they got a long summary in here. Right, real quick. Luffy is ecstatic to learn he has reached Elbaf after longing to see it for some time. We also got the bounty of Loki as well. He starts talking about how he had never seen so many giants together in one place on the Great Eric, which is the ship that Dory and Bragi are sailing on, and he hopes Usopp figures out that they have made it too once he climbs up the giant tree. As he was talking, an irate Loki finally gets Luffy's attention after trying to speak to him, while also informing Luffy that he is in the presence of the Sun God and he is to not speak without his permission. Good luck trying to tell the freest person in the world that he can't do something. As Loki's title is shown, revealing that the world government put a special bounty of 2,600,000,000 berry on him. Loki asks Luffy what he makes of his current predicament, and Luffy obviously states he is chained up. Loki states he wishes to be freed, as he has been chained up for 6 years, and while he considers himself the strongest giant in Elbaf, the tree he is chained to is Treasure Tree Adam, the sturdiest tree in existence. And in addition, the chains are made of sea stone, which inhibit his devil fruit powers. Knowing Luffy is a pirate, Loki asks him that if he frees him, he will destroy a rival pirate crew of his choice. Not something that is on Luffy's itinerary, because Luffy really doesn't see everyone else as a rival, that he just sees them as potential friends that, he can joke around with. Of course, Loki says he will not force Luffy to do anything, but with that said, he reveals their particular location is called the Underworld of Elbaf, where those judged as criminals are sentenced to, and is surrounded by ginormous beasts, who will destroy anyone, though Loki states that the beasts are all his friends, and therefore, if Luffy does not do as Loki says, the beasts will kill him. However, when Luffy sees the beast, he reminisces of his time on Rusukaina. Yeah, so I was right, Rusukaina. Several humans appear. Sorry if I can't see you in chat, I got a whole different tab open. Several humans appear as well, who Loki says tried to fight Elbaf, only to be defeated and sentenced here. with them all wearing stinking robes to ward off the beasts, though they seem to be loyal to Loki. The men hope that they will not be knocked unconscious like last time because of Shanks. But hearing his name gets Luffy's attention, just as he tames the beasts himself to the astonishment of the men and Loki. Literally, in a short frame of time, Luffy literally tames all those beasts from the very first encounter. Luffy asks if Shanks really did come to Elbaf, and sensing his admiration of him, Loki calls him a cowardly pirate. Angered by this, Luffy immediately changes to Gear 4th and tries to punch Loki, who swiftly moves his head to avoid the attack. Loki tells Luffy he was only joking, but Luffy angrily tells Loki to never joke like that again. As for Loki, he thinks to himself that the minute he is free, he will kill Luffy for attacking him while defenseless. You deserved it, though. Once he calms down, Luffy asks Loki why Shanks was in Elbaf and if he is still here. But Loki says he will not give him that information for free. Pretty much, you free me and I'll tell you what you want to know. But we all know that's a lie. Meanwhile, with Zoro's group, the 5 of them are still climbing the rope bridge up the tree. But Usopp sees from afar that Road is running behind him, deducing he was the sun god because he looks like he was zapped by lightning. Thank you, Nami, because he's a creep. Also, Gerd and Goldberg are chasing after him, with the latter carrying the Thousand Sunny in his hands. Zoro considers fighting back, but Usopp stops him, saying they could be friends with Dory and Bragi, so they should instead run to the nearest village for safety and answers. Elsewhere, Harudin and Stanzen have taken down a giant moose for its meat. Moose is debatable, intending to serve it to the Straw Hats. You know Luffy's going to eat half that thing. On the Great Eric, Brook has just finished giving Robin a haircut, though he was quite nervous due to it being his first time. His first time doing a haircut, bruh did a good job. However, he is told he did a great job as Robin's hair now looks how it did 2 years ago. Dory and Bragi learn it is because it was how she looked when she first met Saul, while Frankie, Oimo, and Kashi feel nostalgic because it reminds him of when they first met. The crew then finally arrive at Elbaf, but elsewhere, a man yells that Saul has fallen and cannot get up. Perhaps a lasting injury from being flash frozen by Kuzan? So going through the chapter notes, Loki attempts to bargain with Luffy for his freedom. Loki has been given a special bounty of 2,600,000,000 by the world government. It is revealed that Loki was imprisoned 6 years ago. The giant tree of Elbaf is confirmed to be Treasure Tree Adam. Robin has Brook cut her hair back to the hairstyle she had 2 years ago, and it is reported that Saul has collapsed. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, starting with Elbaf. We're getting Shanks' name dropped. We're getting Saul's name dropped. Robin has her 2 years ago hairstyle again. And the rest of the Straw Hat crew is finally making it to Elbaf, while the other Straw Hat crew is running to the nearest village to get away from Road. And we have Luffy already. I can already tell that Loki is on Luffy's hit list simply because of him bad-mouthing Shanks. And all of this, and we're not going on break. Maybe Saul has a really bad illness. Maybe he got One Piece cancer from all the fire and smoke and being frozen. Maybe. But they also called him Dr. Saul. Why does he get called Dr. Saul? You would think that if he's called Dr. Saul, then he knows how to take care of himself. So something is going on. Interesting. CDs, good to see you. Let me see what all you guys have said. I'm new to One Piece. Ah, okay. Let's see. Luffy's bounty is higher. Loki, you don't know Luffy. He bows down to no one. No, he does not bow. He doesn't bow to anybody. So he had a higher bounty than Blackbeard during Wano, and your voice for Loki's got aura? Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Got aura? Really? Thank you. The rumors were true and Tekking was right this whole time. Don't tell me, was good. Loki's been chained up for 6 years. Coincidentally, that is about the same amount of years that Shanks became an emperor. The Jack slander. Let's see. Luffy will eat them with fries and mayo and a beer. Maybe. One Piece 101, never, and I do mean never, badmouth Shanks in Luffy's presence. Yeah. Yeah, he's gonna get them hands ran. He's gonna catch that Luffy Monkey D smoke. Perfect timing. Family's calling in. Give me a whole second. Give me a whole second. Okay, let me tell y'all why I was looking the way I was. So my sister's got an Android now. She used to be iPhone for like over 10 years, I want to say. And she's just now getting an Android because, Apple be applin'. And she called me and it said like, "Hi, I would like to, for this call, we will be turning on text to speech." And I'm thinking, what? What in the world? Text to speech in the middle of a call? What are you doing? But no, it's just her messing with her phone. But let me go back up to what Ozzy said. Stanzen. Yeah, Stanzen is also, yeah, right. I completely forgot that Stanzen was affiliated with Harudin. Stanzen is the same giant that was in that cell with Rayleigh during the Sabaody arc. That's Stanzen. Wow, to think that we had affiliates with Harudin all over the place. Wow, man. But look at Brook being a stand-in hairdresser since Sanji and Usopp aren't present, and Sanji would be trying to smell Robin's hair way too much. Let's see. Don't hurt us like this. Please don't let anything bad happen to Saul. Robin needs to see Saul. She needs to see him. But let me go back down. Let me catch up. I've never owned an iPhone, always Android. Always Android for me as well. I remember having like my very first phone was a Motorola because me and my family, we lived in Germany. So Motorola was, the go-to phone to have. And it was like a touch phone that was small. It was literally just about that big. Just about that big. I could literally fit it in my back pocket and you wouldn't even be able to tell that it was a phone. It was very small. I didn't get like my own phone because I got like phones that people have had before. But my first big official phone was like a Samsung Galaxy. That was my very first phone. No. It was a Nokia. It was a Nokia that also doubled as a music player. Back when phones weren't afraid for you to have headphone jacks that weren't from their same brand. So, yeah. But overall, yes, this was a very, very, very solid chapter. There'll be plenty of time for me to just prattle on about other stuff later on. But this was a very solid chapter. There is currently incurable illnesses in One Piece like Roger's disease, Whitebeard's disease, does the smile fruit. Whitebeard didn't have a disease. He was just old. And he suffered heart attacks. Does the smile fruit effects count as a disease? Does the smile fruit effects count as a disease? Chopper really dropped the ball on the last one if that's the case. How dare you? How dare you? Chopper dropped the ball? That's not the focus right now. The focus was trying to get rid of the Oni virus, like the ice Oni virus at the time. The smile The smile after effects, that can be worked on later, but how dare you? Chopper dropped the ball. How dare you? Actually, no, wait. No, he didn't. I just remember what incurable is. And there you go. Now I caught up to what you said. Yes, incurable. Incurable. It's in the name. But no, smile fruits were not diseases. No, they're not diseases. They are byproducts of an artificially created fruit. They're not a pathogen. They are forced after effects. It's still disgusting how Orochi purposefully gave it to people so that when people ate of the smile fruit, they would get affected by the side effects even after the fruit's been bitten into. That's so nefarious. But we'll talk about that later. This was a very solid chapter. I like this. Especially Robin with her short hairdo again. Now people can't say Robin's past look was better because now that's her current look. Y'all can't say like no one can say I miss Robin's pre-time skip look because that's her look now. And if her hair growing out took a considerable amount of time, this will be her look for the rest of the series. So anyone who loved Robin's pre-time skip look, that's the look she's gonna have for a hot minute. So enjoy it while you can. But overall, this was a very solid chapter. I'm glad that Dory and Bragi and everyone else on the Great Eric have finally made it to Elbaf. Hold on, here's something that I want to look into as well. So remember when we first learned about Jewel Tree Atom, Treasure Tree Atom, a giant colossal tree that the Oro Jackson was made from? Now we get a little bit more information, finding out that the very same tree that was used to create Roger's ship was also is basically the giant tree that makes up the entirety of this nation. So let's just dive into a little. They were complaining that Robin was too pale post time skip. Not me. I don't get hung up on that. People have said that for Robin. I've definitely heard that about Frankie, but good luck with that one. But yeah, me, the skin tone of Robin is literally no one cares. Like, anyone with common sense, that is. It's not a big deal. It is not a big deal. It's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm glad that this is actually the first time we get like a different hairstyle for the two women on the ship. Because Nami's hair has just been straight up long. It's just been long. And I feel like that suits her better than a short look. However, for Robin, she looks good with both long and short hair. Now, mind you, Nami looks good as well. But for Robin, there's just a massive amount of nostalgia for that hairstyle. The events of Alabasta. The events of Enies Lobby. The events of everything that leads up to It's a Silly Complaint. A lot of things that people complain about in One Piece are just straight up silly. I don't like how Oda draws all the women with hourglass figures and big hips and very big fronts, if you know what I'm saying. But ain't nobody complaining because it's not a big deal. Mind you, and the thing is, people will complain, and real quick tangent. People will bring up like Oda draws all of these women to be overly curvaceous. Yet no one says anything about how often we see shirtless or open-shirted muscly dudes all throughout this series. No one says anything. No one says anything about how many open shirt or just shirtless muscular dudes just inhabit this entire series. No one says anything. But we can't have too many women looking too shapely, though. You know? So, silly. But let's read up on Adam real quick. And always remember, boys love Nami and men love Robin, but as a man, I can love both. The fact I've seen one person complain about Brook's post-time skip design, and I'm like, bruh, ain't Brook always changing his outfit, though? And if they're talking about the way that Brook looked at Sabaody, dude's a rock star. He can wear whatever the heck he wants. He's literally a rock star. Eccentricity is literally their MO. Complaining about nothing. But let's get back to Treasure Tree Adam. Jewel Tree Adam is the official English name. Treasure Tree Adam is an ancient colossal tree that grows at Elbaf's center, enveloping most of the island with its branches and sustaining the Warland Kingdom. Originally introduced through a tale told by Frankie in the Post-Annie's Lobby arc, the tree would make brief appearances throughout the series until its proper full debut during the Elbaf arc. Frankie explained the history of this one-of-a-kind tree. Once, long ago, an endless war raged on an island. People died and the island was destroyed by a rain of bullets and left in ruins. However, the people kept coming back to rebuild the nation near a giant tree, the only one that remained intact, and that was Adam. So that brings up, were there more trees like this? Was there more trees if this is the only one to remain? Were there more giant trees like this? We'll talk about that later. Presumably, this nation was Warland, said to be the place where the concept of war itself originated. I cannot wait to learn more about Elbaf. Appearance-wise, the Treasure Tree Adam is a tree of absolutely immense proportions, with heights reaching beyond the clouds and width rivaling a whole mountain range. This tree is extremely important to Elbaf, as most of its inhabitants live above the tree's branches and thus away from the desolate wilderness of the island's lower regions. Loki, one of Warland's princes, and now a criminal outcast, has been chained to the tree's base for 6 years. They already updated this page. The tree Adam's wood is considered the strongest, highest quality wood in the world, with its immense rarity and difficulty of obtaining, making it a highly valuable treasure. Now we know why the Adam tree is so hard to come by. Because the tree belongs to the giants! Now we know. Now we know why every ship in the world isn't made from this tree. Because it means it would have to be taken from the literal home of the giants itself. And the giants ain't gonna let you roll up to their crib and take their stuff without their permission. Which makes me wonder, how did Tom get his hands on the wood to make the Oro Jackson? How? How did Tom get his hands on this wood to make the Oro Jackson? Let's continue. The tree Adam's wood is considered the strongest, highest quality wood in the world, with its immense rarity and difficulty of obtaining, making it a highly valuable treasure. Occasionally, the wood is sold on the black market at a very high price given its value. Frankie managed to purchase some for $200 million from the money he had stolen from the Straw Hats pirates beforehand. Later, Frankie would build the Thousand Sunny, using the Adam tree's wood as its main material, and gift the ship to the Straw Hats. Oro Jackson, Thousand Sunny. Aside from the Sunny, the only other known ship that uses this type of wood is the Oro Jackson, which carried the legendary Roger Pirates. The wood is capable of withstanding cannonballs and gunfire quite easily, showing little wear over time. This is the equivalent of vibranium in the world of One Piece. Or, I wouldn't say adamantium, because there are metals that are very, very sturdy in this world. So yeah, this is vibranium, and you can only get it. Actually, you know what? No, I'm wrong, because I use the vibranium analogy for Kairoseki because it originates from Wano. So no, I can't use that here. Never mind. The wood is capable of withstanding cannonballs and gunfire quite easily, showing little wear over time. However, even ships built out of this wood need a good shipwright to look after them, as it is not completely invincible, but it's very close. When the Sunlight Tree Eve was introduced, Usopp noted the connection between their names and wondered if the two trees are related. Very interesting. The tree Adam may also be a reference to a real tree, a giant sequoia named Adam. is over 200 years old and grows in the Sequoia National Forest in California. It is the 20th largest giant sequoia tree in the world. And Tree Adam's role in Elbaf culture appears to mirror that of Yggdrasil, the world tree that supports multiple... Well, so much for me thinking that the tree itself was called Yggdrasil. This makes it even more legendary. It's literally the Adam tree. The world tree that supports multiple realms around its trunk and branches. Ironically, however, the Adam tree does not appear to have any connection with the Yggdrasil of the Land of Gods besides Rhodes' own attempts to emulate his country's culture. Let's see, the fact that it wasn't even about the clothes, it was that Brook didn't change physically at all, and I just sat there and thought of mental confusion. You ever get a thought in your head after reading nonsense? Not saying what you said is nonsense, but just thinking of nonsense, and it just... You can only let out a sigh because that is the only sense of release mentally that you can have. People were complaining that Brook physically didn't change. I can think of a couple of reasons why he wouldn't. I don't know if it's just me, but I think there's one very distinct reason why Brook didn't change. Lord help us today. Thank you, Ozzy. I wanted to yell at myself, but I think there's a very obvious reason why Brook wouldn't change at all. And so that I don't blow your ears out when I say this, let me just get up. Let me walk over here. Let me stand as far away from the microphone as I can. Let me explain to the people why Brook didn't physically change over the 2 years in comparison to everyone else. Can y'all hear me? Am I coming in nice and clear? This is why Brook didn't change. He's dead! He's dead! He's a skeleton! Shut up, dog collar. He's dead! He's nothing but bones! What did you expect to happen? For his ligaments to come back? Dead! Undead! What do you want for it? What do you want? D-E-D! Dead! What do you want to change? I understand. I would understand this thought process if he was still living, still had skin, still had blood, still had anything that a normal human being would have. The very first moment you seen Brook, you should have surmised this dude's a skeleton. That should be the obvious thing that comes to mind. I'm shaking my desk. That should be the obvious thing that comes to mind. He's a skeleton with no guts, no blood, no muscles, no skin, no nothing. He's just a skeleton. If by some strange reason you thought Oh, he's gonna physically change after 2 years. How? He's nothing but bones. How often do bones change over the years? You thought he was just gonna, gain muscle? He can't. Skeleton. You thought he was going to get rosy cheeks? Can't. Skeleton. Skeletons don't have cheeks. They have cheekbones. Skeleton. Just a skeleton. What did you think was gonna happen? He was gonna have a streak of gray hair go through his hair? He take care of his hair. He take care of his hair. What did you think was gonna happen? Oh, Brooke didn't change over 2 years. Skeleton! He's a skeleton! What do you want? I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. And I know people don't like to hear this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say this. There are lots of stupid people in the world! Yeah, I said it. Use common sense, people, please. It's not hard. It's not difficult. It benefits you every step of your life. Just use common sense. It's not rocket science. If a person is a skeleton 2 years ago and they're walking and talking, chances are they are not going to change over 2 years. Someone had to say it. No, because people seem to think that, like, oh, this is my opinion and you shouldn't say anything about it. No, I'm gonna be that person on the internet. There are tons of stupid people in the world. But don't nobody want to say nothing because you don't want to hurt the feelings. I bet I'll be the one to say it. If you think Brooke should have changed over 2 years, expecting anything to be different for him being a skeleton, stupid! What did you think? I'm not even mad. I'm not even mad, just confused. What did you think was gonna happen to a skeleton? That he was gonna become more than a skeleton? That's not how the Yomi Yomi works! There comes a point in every man's life. We have a word in Romania, fools but many. We call that legion of stupid. The legion of stupid. What do I know? I'm just some Joe Schmo who does this for a living. But I ain't scared to tell people that they stupid when they saying stupid stuff. Oh no, you don't want to offend nobody. I don't care. You're stupid. I'm done. They expected him to look like Baragon post time skip. That's Bleach. And the thing is about Baragon, though, Baragon Luisenbahn, love that name, by the way. The thing about Baragon, though, is he was a skeleton first. Then he got flesh after joining with Aizen. And then he went back to his skeleton form again. You want him to look like Ainzul Gon? Sorry, that honor belongs to Ainz. Brooke ain't gotta look like nobody. Brooke needs to look like Brooke. Ain't no person out there in anime or manga a skeleton with an afro. Don't nobody got that distinction. Except Marv when he was getting electrocuted in the Home Alone 2 Lost in New York. That was actually the first time we got a skeleton with an afro. That was actually the first time. And I think that was before Brooke became a thing. So actually, Marv from Home Alone. But ain't no afro. There's no skeleton character out there with an afro at all. I'm gonna move. I need water. This was a good chapter. I'm sorry. I know I went off on a whole tangent there, but I understand people have what they have to say about One Piece, this and that. And I'm just like, before you put it out there on the internet, for the internet to point at you and stare and look at how their IQ is lower than yours, think before you hit enter. Just think. This was a fun and an eventful discussion. I'm glad I was able to have it. I've kept you here for way too long. It's already been an hour, and I gotta move on to Sakamoto Days. Because, since I fully caught up with Sakamoto Days will happen on Sundays along with One Piece. And I can't wait to see where this story continues after my last reading last week. Thank you everyone who tuned in to me reading all of Sakamoto Days up until this time. It was fun. But time to move on to that one. I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. If I have to hear one more dumb thing about people, I'm pretty sure there's a whole Reddit based on people's very dumb ideas towards One Piece. And I'm pretty sure that I would just be having my head in my hands, just looking at it all, because there is no shortage. There is no shortage of people who lack common sense, and most of them live on the internet. But I'm done. I need like a good 2 minutes just to let my brain clear out, because that Brook thing just like broke me. I'm sorry. But I'm done, ladies and gentlemen. You've been a wonderful audience. Surprisingly, where I saw that it wasn't from Reddit, let me guess, YouTube comment or a Facebook comment? Maybe. But yes, time to move on to Sakamoto Days. Hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples.